Hello, today's date is March 10th, 2008, and I just want to go over my workout real quick today. And let's see, I burned off 784 calories. I ran 6.68 miles, ran for 45 minutes, and I finished my run at 10:25 p.m. And I want to say that the scheduled run according to my plan was this. I was supposed to do a 6:06 pace and do that in clusters of 1 mile, take a 400 meter slow down, and then you raise it back up to 6:06 pace, which is about at 9.8 miles per hour roughly. And then you keep going back and forth. And you do 5 miles, but you have like a small break in between that you kind of jog. Well, I couldn't do that. I can't run consistently. I can maybe do that maybe 2 miles if I'm lucky. So what I did was instead I set the treadmill to 45 minutes, and I ran 2-2-1, 2-2-1, 2-2-1, and I went 2 miles, 2 minutes at 9.8 miles per hour, 1 minute at 7 miles per hour. I did those cluster sets with 3 minutes, did that for 45 minutes, which means it gave me more than my mileage as far as going the 6:06 per mile. And I'm very proud of myself, even though I had to take more. I took a lot of little 1 minute breathers, like when I would slow down like every 6 minutes or so, or I did this like toward the end of the run. I was taking like 6 minute or 1 minute breaks for like maybe 3 or 4 of these 1 minute breaks. Found out it really doesn't do much for you, because once you have to raise the speed again, it's just you're back to where you were. The water breaks were the crucial thing. Also, I want to say that somebody commented on my March 3rd posting about wind resistance, that you cannot get it from a fan. And you know what? It's a mind game with me. I don't know. It seems like if you've got a fan blowing in your face and you're running on a treadmill, that it is creating resistance. But I could be wrong. Maybe it's just cooling me down. But there was this thing that I wrote about in my ebook, Treadmill Marathon Guide, and there's a belief in the running community that you have to raise the treadmill one degree or a 1 degree hill, 1% grade, in order to compensate for the wind resistance that you gain when you run. But I have said this before, and I'll say it again, and I said it in my book, and it's my opinion on this, that I have never seen this. The reason why I don't raise the incline on the treadmill to compensate for wind resistance is because I simply don't believe I think it's negligible, if at all. I don't think you create that much wind resistance unless you actually have wind blowing at you, and you're, or if you're booking super fast, if you're Bill Rogers and you're in his prime and, he's running fast. But what I have found out through experience is that I always do better on my actual runs than I do in my treadmill training. But that's typical of most running events, because you always tend to do better on your runs, period, because you're going above your lactate threshold, or you're pushing yourself further than you would if you were running on the road or the treadmill. So that's that. And so that's been kind of the situation here with this run today. I was very glad I did it, because I was feeling like, oh my God, I'm not going to do it. And then I decided, what the hell, I'll do it. And so, but thanks a lot for that. It was a new comment that somebody put on there. And I also posted a couple of videos. Actually, I'm about to post the second one on there about the pros and cons of positive thinking, or it's called Positive Thinking, the Pros and Cons, Part 1 and 2, in 2 separate videos. And I talk about my dilemma in my life and certain things that are going on. And I even mention my running. And I got to say that I am positive about my running, but I wasn't real positive today. But the human body doesn't really, and this is something I want to tell you if I haven't said this already, positive thinking, it doesn't matter whether you hit your training with a good attitude or a shitty attitude. A good attitude and slacking on your training with a good attitude is just going to make your run it's going to be less beneficial to your running scores. If you have a crappy attitude of training and you get on you see people get up in the morning and they're real tired and have you ever seen that show Life Goes On? There was a scene in the intro where Bill Smitrovich, the father in the story, it shows that at the intro, it shows him looking at his exercise bicycle, and he just shakes his head like, oh boy, I got to get on this thing. Well, it doesn't matter if you have a crappy attitude of exercising, as long as you freaking do it. And the human body doesn't know the difference. All it knows is you're taxing me, and you're strengthening the heart muscle and the leg muscles. So in reality, I got a shitty attitude, and I don't care because I'm still going to better my run. And so that's that. But I think positive attitude makes it more pleasurable, and so that's that. And so anyway, Saturday I have this 5-miler on the 15th of March. I have this St. Malachi 5-miler. I can't wait to run it. I averaged 6:45 per mile today, and I figured out if I averaged that on a 5-mile run, 6:45, that would put me at a 33 minutes and 45 seconds. I think I can do better than that. I think I can pull off a 33-minute 5-miler. That would be a major record for me. That would be knocking my score down by 3 minutes and some change. That would be just incredible. This is a hard race because most of it's uphill. The last part of the St. Malachi race, in fact, I may just bring my camera with me and tape it because I think it's important for my viewers to see exactly what this stuff entails. I'm going to park my car early down there, and I can get a parking spot where I can easily finish the race. Grab my camera and go back there and video the rest of the race so you guys can kind of see what the St. Malachi race is like. But the last hill is all uphill. It's like a slant. It feels like it's a 45-degree slant, but it's more like this. But actually, it is pretty steep, and you got to trudge seriously up this thing. This is like burst your heart out, the St. Malachi run, and then of course it's got a couple down. It starts out with a nice downhill, but that's the last thing I need is to start running downhill. But anyways, 5-miler, this is like the 20th in, I don't know, maybe they've been doing this a long time, maybe 25 years. I'm thinking it's quite a few years, 25, 26 years they've been doing the St. Malachi race. Gets a big crowd. I plan to finish in the top 10%, and that's doable. Last year I did the top 15%, and that was doable because, I was finishing 36 minutes and 15 seconds, but blah, blah, blah. I'll do better this year. And I'm not going to give up on Boston. I want to point out something, Shell Music, you said about don't give up on Boston. I'm not going to give up on it, but I'm upset with myself. I'm smacking myself saying, Steve, why did you let this happen? But, hindsight's 2020. Who would have thought that 25,000 people were going to sign up for the Boston Marathon 7 weeks or 8 weeks before it closed? Was it Lance Armstrong announcing that he was going to run it? I think a lot of people in their 50s decided, what the hell, why not run it? I don't know. With this recession, I was thinking people would be holding on to their money, but that's wishful thinking. Just like the jackasses that go to these restaurants like Red Lobster, they just seem to have all this money to spend, and I guess I'm just groveling because I don't have money. But one of these days I will. But anyways, thanks a lot for watching my videos, and the few of you that watch them. And if you have any questions or comments, just send them the way you've been sending them. And if you ever want to make a video response, that's fine too. But isn't this wonderful, this technology? I'll tell you what I don't like about YouTube, and I'm starting to really dislike it. There's a lot of people out there that are egomaniacs, and they're all trying to get seen out there, and they're like you'll see girls going, hee hee hee. And this one girl did this one video where she was pretending like she was going to the grocery store trying to find a date, and then she would go back and forth between her apartment and the grocery store. Of course, it can't be real because she's got somebody following her with her camera. It's all egomania driven, this whole YouTube. A lot of it is, I should say. And I guess these people think they're going to be the next Stephen Colbert or the next comedian or the next, whoever they're trying to be. So anyways, some stupid stuff. Don't get too hooked on this. I try to get right to the point. But anyways, if you have any suggestions, comments, just email me or write me. Today's date is March 10th, 2008, and I'm out of here.